Good evening, football fans. Welcome to the Chestmont Game of the Week on ChestmontFootball.com. I am Mikey Dunn, joined by Carl Rubman, as we get set to bring you the Route 82 rivalry. It's the Unionville Indians playing host to the Kennett Blue Demons. Carl, Chestmont American Division play, and the Blue Demons off to a fantastic start this season. Tell us about the Kennett Blue Demons.
Okay, Mikey, the Kennett Blue Demons are led by their head coach, Lance Frazier, in his second year, are 3-0, beating Oxford 36-14. Chichester 37-12, and last week's exciting 12-7 victory over Ruston. They're led by their quarterback, Sam Forte. Their top running back is Garrett Cox, who's second in Chestmont in rushing with 72 carries for 596 yards. They also have their wide receivers, Andrew Buzzy Hertz and Kalen Frazier, the coach's son. Another standout is Vincent Cressy. He is a defensive back, very good athlete, and he is a very good lacrosse player. Kennett made the playoffs for the first time in school history last year. Frazier's first as a coach. Frazier played for the Dallas Cowboys, among other NHL teams, and settled into a nice career with the Canadian Football League's Saskatchewan Roughriders. Kennett are led defensively by Zach Good, Connor Jung, Vincent Cressy, and Sam Davidson. In last week's game, Kennett stunned Westchester Ruston, beating them for the first time. They did not throw a single pass, Mikey, but employed a punishing ground game, led by Garrett Cox's 30 carries for 229 yards, and a resilient defense who forced Ruston into 3 turnovers. First time beating Ruston in their history. Now they're trying to knock off Unionville for the first time, Mikey.
And an interesting note for that game against Ruston, it was actually played here at Unionville because of Ruston's stadium lighting fiasco. So it's their second week in a row here at Unionville. They are taking on the Unionville Indians, who are 2-1 overall and 2-1 in conference play. They played all conference games thus far. They're, of course, led by head coach Pat Clark. Their 3-year run of winning the American was ended last year when Ruston won the division, but it's looking like they're in quite a race with Kennett, Ruston, and Westchester East. They won week 1 as seen on ChestmontFootball.com, defeating Henderson 25-11. Again, you can watch that game anytime on ChestmontFootball.com. They lost week 2 to Westchester East in a very exciting game where the Indians led by 9 with 7:29 left, and then Westchester East came back. They were led by Kyle Sikanowski in that game, and there was an interception on the 2 with 26 seconds left when Unionville tried to come back. They fell in that game, and we will continue our pregame coverage after the Star Spangled Banner. We are back live at Unionville High School as the Unionville Indians are getting ready to take on their rivals, the Kennett Blue Demons. And we were talking, Unionville fell in their home opener in week 2 to Westchester East 27-23, but they got back on the right track, defeating Great Valley last week by a score of 44-14. Their star running back, Connor Schilling, 13 carries, 61 yards and a touchdown. Blake Charlton, their veteran quarterback, 9-13, 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had 8 carries for 42 yards. And their best wide receiver, Bryce Whitlock, 4 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Carl, they held the Great Valley Patriots to 119 yards rushing, 109 passing. These are two very strong defensive teams. And last year, Kennett, you were talking, Carl, you were talking that Kennett had a rough start to the season, finished strong. They did lose to Unionville last year, again, never beating them in their history. But Unionville only won 10-7 last year. So we expect a very close game tonight. Expect to see a lot of running plays. Expect to see Schilling and Cox get the ball quite a bit this evening. Kennett will be receiving the ball in their white jerseys, blue pants, blue helmets. Unionville kicking off their blue jerseys, their yellow or gold pants, if you will. I know a lot of programs have been calling this like a new gold. And we are underway as kick goes all the way down to almost the goal line.
That was Kalen Frazier, Mikey, on the run back.
His foot was very close to going into the end zone, Carl. That would have been an automatic touchback. Carl, as you said, they are led by Sam Forte, their junior quarterback. Expect to see him give it to Cox a lot, the senior running back. Was talking with Coach Frazier before the game. I said, what's the difference between last season and this season? He said a lot of it is the consistency, having coaches that are back again, having a lot of the same players, but also, I said, talk to me about Cox and Forte. He said these guys just love to compete. They'll do anything they can to win. Forte drops back. Pass is complete to Garrett Cox.
That's an excellent tackle by Declan Boyle there, Mikey, as they smelled out that little screen pass to Garrett Cox.
And one giveaway, Carl, that was going to be a screen was the receiver on the near side of the field for us. And he started blocking as soon as the play was started. He didn't even try to run around.
Right, they smelled it out pretty easily there, Mikey.
Something Unionville is always known for under Coach Pat Clark is a swarming defense and a solid running game. But Kennett, Carl, finished number 2 in Chestmont defensively last year. They're done great defensively this season. Cox with the carry. Several Indians there to make the tackle.
Good tackling. He broke the initial tackle, which got him some yardage there, Mikey, and then they gang tackled him down, and you have to gang tackle Garrett Cox.
Among the players making that tackle, Sean Kelly. 3rd and 4 for the Blue Demons.
It's actually a pretty good pickup there, Mikey, on that play. They've already thrown one pass, which is more than they threw all last week, Mikey.
Well, the saying that had been going around about that game was they out-Rustin's Rustin in that game.
Right.
And Kennett already calls a timeout, Carl. I guess they wanted to make sure they got the right play. This is a game that could be very low scoring. Field position could be very important. Want to make sure that they do everything correctly. Carl, it's a good chance for us to talk about our keys to the game. Our keys to the game. Well, let's talk about the road Kennett Blue Demons first. We have them coming up on the screen. Carl, your keys to the game for Kennett.
Okay, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Kennett must play their 2019 brand of football, which is to control the line of scrimmage and get off the field on defense. Use the ground game to control the clock, ultimately to win the game, and offensively and defensively control that line of scrimmage.
And we're going to talk about the Unionville keys of the game now, as the Indians are going to, the Unionville Indians keys of the game, as we will have that coming on the screen after this play, actually, as the Blue Demons are back out on the field. Forte in the shotgun. Handoff goes to Cox.
He's very close to a first down, Mikey.
It's got to depend on the spot. Carl, Cox is quite a bruising back, but he's got some speed as well.
Yeah, I think that separates him just from his power and the speed. And like you said, he's a downhill runner.
And they are signaling it is 4th down. They have the offense still out there, Carl. They know they got a big bruiser running back. Do they go for it here? I think they're going to. Or do they try and get Unionville off sides?
No, I think that they believe that they can get a half yard in any situation, Mikey. So let's see if they can.
One thing I don't like, I never like shotgun formation when you just need a small number of yards. But again, they have a big bruising back. Can the Indians get a big defensive stop? And it is a quick punt, Carl. It's a smart play.
Not a great punt there, Mikey.
Goes out of bounds at the, looks like they spot it just shy of the 50-yard line. That's where the Indians are going to take over.
Yeah, from that formation, Mikey, it looked like that there was going to be something like a quick punt like that because, like you said, it wasn't a rushing. It didn't look like they were going to run the football there.
And Carl, let's take this opportunity to talk about our keys to the game for the Unionville Indians. So for Unionville, offensively, they're going to mix up the play calling. Carl, this is a very strong Kennett defense. They can't just do the regular same old running plays. They need to mix in some passes, maybe some trick plays. Defensively, try as they can, as they did on that first drive, contain the Kennett run game. And then overall, it's a rivalry game, Carl. They got to keep their emotions in check.
And there's our first flag of the game, Mikey.
I do believe it's going to be offsides on Kennett, and it is. What I was talking about, Carl, keeping the emotions in check is when you're going up against a rival, you're a little extra aggressive.
Yeah, a little anxious.
You also might possibly see a couple more personal fouls because the players are emotional. This is called the Route 82 rivalry because these schools are so close to one another. So a lot of these people know each other. Hearing a member of the band staff or band parent talking about, a lot of these parents and players know each other. So there's extra emotion in a rivalry game. So it's really for both teams it's a key. Don't let the emotions get the best of you. So it is 1st and 5. Charlton rolls out, makes a couple guys miss. But he's finally taken down. That's a nice tackle.
Garrett Cox there, Mikey. So Garrett showing his speed that you indicated he had and makes a great defensive play.
Yeah, Carl, both Cox and Forte very strong defensively. In the win for Kennett over Unionville, it was Forte with 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. Don't hear that from a quarterback a lot.
No.
Going to be a first down for the Indians.
Charlton on that play. He faked the run and ran it himself, and he found some running room and for a nice first down. Moves it all the way to the 36-yard line.
First down for Unionville. 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Man in motion. Handoff goes to Weston Grimm.
Nice design play there, Mikey, and it gets him 6 yards.
Yeah, it's not just a basic run play. You got to do a couple extra motions maybe than you're used to doing. Just something to get the Kennett defense off guard. Again, Kennett defense averaging just giving up 11 points a game, Carl. But the Unionville offense has scored 25, 23, and 44 points, so they have a potent offense. Charlton drops back. He's got a man open. Pass is complete. Wide open receiver Bryce Whitlock, Carl.
Bryce Whitlock, beautiful pass, beautiful route. He was open, but it took a good throw by Charlton and a big first down, and it's 1st and goal, Mikey, for the Unionville Indians.
Yeah, Carl, in their loss to Westchester East, Whitlock, 7 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Last week, their win against Great Valley, Whitlock, 4 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. We always talk about this level, any level really, you want to put the ball in your playmakers' hands. That's going to be Schilling, that's going to be Whitlock, that's going to be Charlton for Unionville. Man in motion. Charlton takes it himself. Dives forward. Going to be spotted just short of the 5-yard line.
You talked about that they couldn't do the same old thing, and Mikey, I think they're following your game plan. A lot of versatility on this first drive. In and out, the run play, pass play, so they're mixing it up, and I believe confusing this Kennett Blue Demon team, Mikey.
And Carl, when we saw Unionville in week 1, they did put up 25 points, but felt like they should have been able to put up more. A couple of drives stalled in that game. Second and goal from the 6. That's a great job by the Blue Demon defense there. And on the tackle was Buzzy Hertz.
Buzzy Hertz and Connor Jung, who we talked about before the game, is one of their stalwart defensive players on the tackle. And that will set up a 3rd down and goal, Mikey.
Do they try to run it again? I think maybe they put Charlton maybe on a run-pass option. Give him a chance to use his legs if he can't find receivers such as Whitlock open. Whitlock being covered in man. Charlton rolls out. He's going to be sacked in the backfield. Big defensive play for the Blue Demons.
Yes.
That's Zach Good.
Zach Good, who is one of my defensive stalwarts I talked about early in the game, and he comes up with a big defensive play, going to force a field goal here, Mikey.
And in to kick it is Stephon Twombly. Carl, he's had an interesting year kicking. Now, he is, I believe I remember Coach Clark saying he's a first-year kicker. He's made a couple field goals. He's also had some issues on some extra points, but see if this is in his range. A 33-yarder trying to get the Indians on the board first here on the Chestmont Game of the Week. Kick is up, and it is good. Great kick by Twombly, giving the Indians the early 3-0 lead. Unionville 3, Kennett nothing. We'll be back after this word from Washington Hose Company #1.
The Washington Hose Company is located at 376 East Lincoln Highway, serving the city of Coatesville and the surrounding communities for almost 150 years. Our dedicated EMS staff of volunteer and career are proud to provide EMS services 24/7, 365 days a year. WHC offers first aid, CPR AD, babysitting, and several other training for first aid and certification classes. To take a class or volunteer, please contact us at 610-384-6464. Be safe.
And we are back here at Unionville High School as the Unionville Indians have just taken a 3-0 lead over the Kennett Blue Demons. Carl was a solid offensive drive going for the Indians until that big sack by Good.
Yes, Good made the big play there, forcing a field goal, but it's very important to convert that field goal, and they did. So give Unionville credit also. It was a pretty good drive. It's going to be tough to score points, so touchdowns are going to be a key. But any points are going to be key tonight, Mikey.
Hey, I love saying got to be sound in the kicking game. When I was talking with Coach Frazier before the game, he said they have a very strong freshman kicker as well in Ryan Barker. And it's a big return going up the sideline. That's Frazier again, Carl. That's 2 strong returns for him. Kalen Frazier, the coach's son.
Puts him in excellent field position, Mikey.
And Carl, when you were talking about Coach Frazier, you left out the most important part about him. Not just that he played in the NFL. He's a fellow West Virginia Mountaineer. So
yes, I left that for you, Mikey.
Of course.
Yes.
Now, Carl, this is a program that is reminding me a little bit of Henderson. I think they might be a year ahead. We saw Henderson last year. They struggled, but we saw them building the culture and talking about their veteran leadership. Kennett last year struggled, got better as they progressed. Now they have veteran leaders leading them to a strong start this year. It's a run up the middle.
And they're just well aware, Mikey, that Garrett Cox has to be gang tackled. And he's going to get his yardage, Mikey. I mean, they technically could run him 3 plays. He could probably get a first down most of the time.
Carl, what do we always say? You gain 4 yards a carry, you're going to get a first down. What did he pick up there? 4 yards. Yeah, 2nd and 6, ball on the 42.
Yeah, do the math.
But also what that does, if you can pick up consistent good gains on running plays, it opens it up for play action passes. Under center is Forte, giving it to Cox again. Bulldozes a man over, has to get the ref out of the way, and he's still going up the field, cuts it back. What a great move. He's down inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line. Carl, truck stick to defensive player. You know who he reminds me of? A faster version of Mike Allstott.
Or how about Jerome Bettis?
There you go, the bus.
Yes. He looked like the bus on that play.
What a run by Cox.
Very impressive run. I mean, they know he's going to get the ball. We talked about it, and they could not stop him.
Started not with the greatest amount of speed on that play, and then when he needed to, showed his strength, and then he had the speed, and then he does a great move. 1st and 10. Cox again on the carry. Carl, they finally just had to blow the play dead. They weren't able to bring him down. I said 1st and 10. It was actually 1st and goal because they did spot it right at the 10.
Yep, he's got his 5 yards, and they're driving here to take the lead early in this first quarter.
2nd and goal from the 5. That's almost at the 4, Carl. We'll call it the 4.5.
Yeah, very close to the 4.
Do you think Cox is going to get the ball again, Carl?
He's going to get the ball most nights if you can't stop a guy.
They were able to stop him on that first drive. Can they hold the Blue Demons to a field goal just as the Blue Demons held them to a field goal? Oh, trouble on the exchange. Forte falls on it. I don't know if it was supposed to be a handoff and he bobbled it or if it was supposed to be him rolling out. Either way, trouble with the ball. He was lucky to fall, and he did the right thing just falling on it, Carl. Sometimes a player will try and pick it up and do something with it. But
he did a good job of laying down and let the ball kind of come to him and cradle it, because that easily could have been a turnover.
Now, Carl, the Indians are looking to try and get off the field here as it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 12. Can they make the Blue Demons try to attempt a field goal? We've seen them want to run the ball tonight. Do they throw it here? Forte in shotgun. Flag on the play. I think that may have been a legal procedure, and it is.
It's going to move him back 5 more yards.
It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 17 now, Carl.
Difficult situation for Kennett with 3rd and 17. Don't have much of a passing game, even though Sam can't throw it up. So let's see what they do. They were going to pass the ball on that play, so they need to get in the end zone, or otherwise it looks like a field goal attempt.
Forte drops back. Pressure. Throws in the middle of the field. It is incomplete, off the hands of Luke Forte. The coverage was there, Carl, but it still hit him in the hand. That was a really solid throw.
It was a solid throw, Mikey, absolutely. Not really open, but good coverage. And incomplete. And they're going to bring on the field goal team, try to tie this game up.
Now, although they got helped out a little bit by the Blue Demon offense, the Indians did what they needed to do. They were able to force a field goal attempt. Again, it's going to be Barker in to attempt the kick.
Kalen Frazier holding.
Kick is up, and it is good. Great kicking thus far in this game as Ryan Barker is true on his attempt. The Indians and the Blue Demons tied at 3. We want to take some time to tell you about our friends at SWI. That's right, SWI, or Service Wholesale Incorporated, is your place to go for building materials and products. They supply quality materials for the building, construction, remodeling, and lumber industries. Their motto is service with integrity. Visit them at 4810 Horseshoe Pike in Downingtown, or give them a call at 610-518-5187. That's SWI.
Let's see, do they have a replay on that Cox run, Mikey?
Let's take a look at it, Carl. Seem to have technical difficulty with that replay. We'll take a look again in just a second after this kick. And a little bit of confusion, it seems, between the kicker and one of the men on the kick coverage as they were waiting to put the ball down there. For finally ready to kick it off here. Big hit in the middle of the field as the Indians are going to start off on their own, looks like 21-yard line. Okay, let's try to take a look now for that instant replay on the Cox run. We'll try and get that replay for you fans. Perhaps maybe at halftime we go over the scoring, but sometimes we want to show you the plays that lead to that scoring. Man in motion. There's nowhere to run for the Indians on that play.
And Vincent Cressy on the stop there, Mike. You talked about him before the game.
Connor Schilling on the carry.
It's Connor's first carry of the evening. Usually the lead carrier. But they do have other guys that can run the ball.
Yeah, Grimm, Kelly and
Grimm,
Schilling.
And Schilling, right? 3 top running backs on this team.
And Charlton likes to take it himself also.
Right.
Second and 9, ball on the 22. Charlton pressured right away, goes to the outside, lowers his shoulder. He's looking like Cox on that play.
Fired up Blake Charlton there, Mikey, as he breaks a tackle and gets near a first down. Let's see what they call it.
I think he's going to be just short. Carl's going to bring up a 3rd and 1.
I think Blake's coming out fired up tonight, Mikey.
He knows this is a key game because they've already dropped one game in the division. Ruston's already dropped one game in the division. Westchester East and Kennett are both undefeated, so they know if they fall this game, they're going to be in some trouble, but it's going to be a first down for the Indians.
Excellent line play there as they push Kennett back 5 yards and let the running back just follow the lineman.
Sean Kelly, good, tough running, but again, he was led by that Indian offensive line.
Game pretty much going the way we thought, Mikey, here in the first quarter.
1st and 10, ball on the 35, under a minute to go. 3-3 is your score on the Chestmont Game of the Week on ChestmontFootball.com. As Charlton takes it himself. You can see Kennett just trying to time when the snap was. They almost jumped off sides.
Connor Jung on the tackle again, and good job there by Kennett's defense. Unionville's trying to overwhelm them with strong line play.
I believe they'll have to run more play in this first quarter. 2nd and 8, ball on the 37. Under 5 seconds to go. Maybe they don't have to run the play, Carl. And Unionville actually called a timeout, Carl. I don't know if they knew they had to run a play.
Yeah,
So they had to call a timeout with just about 1 second to go.
Yeah, the clock's reading 0, but
because they blew
obviously
the
there's some
whistle
time.
for the timeout before the clock went
Correct.
to 0.
Yes.
Because the ref even looked over. And now the ref is waving his arms, again, signaling that it was a timeout. Should be, I believe, 1 second is what they're showing.
Which means the play will run no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think they knew they had to run that play, Carl.
Yeah, they definitely did not have to run that play.
Folks, just a reminder, you can follow us on Twitter at ChestmontFB. Like us on Facebook at 3CTV Live, or follow us on Instagram at 3CTV Live. Trying to find some other Chestmont scores for you. Our usual site not showing any current scores. Once again, 2nd and 8, they've actually put 2 seconds on the clock. Jet sweep taken to the outside by Whitlock. And he is going to be taken down by Carl, is that Sam Forte?
Sam Forte, Buzzy Hurts.
Nice tackle by the Blue Demon D. And that's going to do it for the first quarter. It is the Unionville Indians 3, the Kennett Blue Demons 3. It's the Chessmont Game of the Week on ChessmontFootball.com. And we're going to take a minute to hear from our friends at ChessmontFootball.com.
Harry! Harry!
Hey, Dad.
Hurry up, buddy. We're going to be late for the game.
No, Pops. We can watch it on ChessmontFootball.com at any time.
You do say.
Sure thing, Coach. We can stream it live on any smart device.
We are back for the Chessmont Game of the Week on ChessmontFootball.com. As we expected, it's a close matchup tonight, but some other Chessmont matchups not as close. Coatesville leading Henderson 21-0. You have Ruston leading their game 13-0. Downingtown West playing a non-conference game. They lead 6-0 off a Tariq Lewis touchdown run, but the extra point was no good as they lead 6-0. Charleston rolls out. Pass is complete, taking a big hit but making the catch. That was Declan Boyle. Carl, nice job by Charlton throwing on the run. Nice job by Boyle holding on to the ball after taking the big hit.
Yes, big hit by number 7, Sam Forte, quarterback. Boy, I show you, that's some athletic ability there, Mikey.
Both teams came out to play tonight, Carl. We were expecting them to. As we said, it's a rivalry matchup, but we've seen a couple big hits already tonight. We've seen a couple big hits by offense and defensive players.
I tell you, Blake Charlton's come out tonight, and he's shown me something here, Mikey.
1st and 10, ball on the 50. He's taking it himself again. This time, it's going to be stopped after just a 1-yard gain.
John Calamarino makes the tackle there, number 67, holding him to a 1-yard gain. 1.5. Good solid football game to start, Mikey. Both teams executing. We knew it would be a defensive battle, but both teams are executing well, and it's going to be a good game tonight.
And a motion handoff goes, taking it to the outside. I believe that was Sean Kelly on the carry.
Connor Jung again.
Oh, no, sorry. That's actually Connor Schilling.
Connor Schilling and Connor Jung makes the tackle. 2 Connors there, which is a little unusual. That's the 3rd time I think we've called Connor's name, so he's obviously having a good night on the defensive end. Another key 3rd down. They've been able to execute some of the 3rd downs here. Let's see if they could do another one.
3rd and 5, ball on the 45. Early goings here of the second quarter. Charlton drops back, looking to pass, hit as he throws, pass is complete. Taking it up the far sideline and the cutting back is Connor Schilling.
Looked good on the tackle, but a big run by Schilling and a great play as they had under a tremendous rush. It may have been a blitz there, Mikey, and Blake Charlton smelled it out and got the ball out to Connor Schilling in space, and he gets a big gain.
Carl, it's going to be a game where I think the team that's able to get the most big plays is going to win, and there's going to be a limit to how many there are. You saw Cox with the big run. You saw Schilling with the big reception there. First and 10. Schilling on the carry.
Picks up a couple. Andrew Buzzy Hurts on the tackle. So far, I think we've seen a little bit more versatility from this Unionville offense. And they're controlling the play a little bit more than Kennett is so far in this game. but the score is still 3-3. You have to execute and get the points.
Yeah, Charlton has shown a little bit more thus far than Forte, but a lot of time left in this game. Charlton drops back. Passes complete. That was almost intercepted. Instead, it's a completed pass.
Tommy Petrozzi.
Oh, no, they're ruling incomplete, Carl.
Oh, he must have lost that. I did not see him drop it.
The ref behind the play didn't make a signal, but the ref that was near the line of the scrimmage motioned that it was an incomplete pass as Carl, Bryce Whitlock is just holding his hands going, what do you mean? I caught that.
There's a flag on the play also, Mikey.
So it wouldn't have mattered what happened there.
Right. Let's see what the call is. The ineligible receiver downfield.
The only thing when Charlton rolls out like how he does is linemen start moving up the field a little bit, trying to get ready to block. Charlton rolls out this time on a designed run, following his blockers. Not a huge game, but a solid game, Carl.
Excellent blocking. Vincent Cressy on the tackle.
And he actually took a year off from football, Carl. He's a very talented lacrosse player.
Correct. Showed his athleticism as he rolled across the field there, Mikey. Get the tackle.
Hey, Carl, I want to speak to the crowd tonight. We've been here where it's just been the Unionville bleachers and there's a decent crowd. No, they're completely packed. There's people standing around the fence, and then on the Unionville side of the field, this is reminding me of some of the Downingtown games back when they were, competing for state championships. They actually have extra bleachers on the far side of the field. It is a packed house tonight because this is a big game. Charlton, he's got some room. Passes wide open. Receiver is Declan Boyle. Carl, he just ran a route and then turned around and sat there waiting for his quarterback to see him. And that's what Charlton has been great at tonight, is finding the open receiver when he's on the run, but still has to make the throw, and Boyle makes the catch.
Yes, definitely the best game I've seen Charlton Blake play, Mikey.
Illegal man downfield again,
that's
Carl.
A big play.
These linemen have to realize when Charlton rolls out, they gotta stay. I believe they're only allowed maybe a yard or two in front of the line of scrimmage. I forget what the exact rule is, but
certainly Charlton can't be faulted on that play as he rolled out, looked for his receiver, found him, and calmly threw it in there. And that's all he can ask for the quarterback, but the lineman got to stay upfield, and that's something that's got to be corrected by Coach Clark.
It's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Indians.
Another big play.
Charlton drops back. Pass is complete again to Boyle.
And that's close to a first down. It looked like a little short.
Yeah, they're moving the chains, Carl.
They got it. Okay. Wow, they're executing beautifully, Mikey, here.
These offenses doing better on 3rd downs than the Buccaneers and the Panthers in last night's NFL game, Carl.
This is one of the best games I've seen from the quarterback to the wide receivers in a while, Mikey.
We're used to seeing a lot of running plays.
Yeah, and we expected it.
Trouble on the stabs. The ball pops up, and it looks like it's recovered by the Blue Demons.
Well, there's that turnover we were talking about as keys to the game, Mikey. As number 21, Tommy Petrozzi comes up with the ball as Charlton lost it, just seemingly.
Looked like there was butter on the ball. It just popped up as we got the replay. Let's take a look here, Carl.
Let's see what happened with Charlton on this play.
And as soon as it hit his hands, it just popped up in the air like it was a hot potato. Didn't even look like he got the chance to move it back yet.
So I'm not too sure if it was the center's fault on that play or what, why the ball jumped up like that. But a big turnover there as they were driving.
Yet another red zone visit in tonight's game that leads to no touchdowns. Forte takes it himself. As the Blue Demons now have a chance to get the game's first touchdown.
It's funny, it's the execution. I mean, their plays are run really well, but those penalties and turnover killed them on that drive.
Yeah, they had the ball inside the 5 after the one pass to Declan Boyle. Then they hit him again to get another first down. Second and 7, ball on the 22. Forte takes it again himself. It's going to be tackled at the 21. Carl, seeing on the sideline, I don't know if it's an injury, maybe just some cramping, but Declan Boyle getting a little worked on by the trainer.
Yeah, that usually indicates there might be some cramping going on, Mikey. He certainly got a lot of work on that.
Or maybe
series.
he took a hit, just needs to stretch something out.
Yeah. Looking a little gingerly, but I think he's going to be okay.
I want to take this opportunity to give a shout out to Coach Frazier's family. He said watching the game tonight, he said he was excited they'd be able to watch. Always happy to give a shout out to all our fans out there watching all across the country. We've had fans, I remember watching in England before. That pass is intercepted. What a great interception, Carl. That throw had no chances. It was behind the wide receiver, but what a diving grab by the Indians.
I believe that's Sean Kelly, Mikey, if I'm not correct.
And let's take a look at the replay. What an effort by him.
Oh, the ball was overthrown, but that Sean had the whereabouts to come up with this ball.
Oh, that's actually the fumble replay right there. So we'll try and get that interception replay for you. But that, Carl, you said overthrown. I think it was underthrown as it was thrown behind the receiver, it looked like.
Yeah, it's an interpretation, but the good heads-up play by Sean Kelly. And they're down at the 15.
Handoff goes to Schilling. He breaks one tackle, but then is brought down after just a gain of 1. Now let's take a look at that interception replay. It is overthrown. I thought it was behind and said it was just far, but what an effort.
That was a great play by Kelly there, anticipating the overthrown pass.
Those are throws you got to make, Carl. As it's not like it's down the field. It's not like it's a difficult route. It's just a receiver running out, but sometimes the easiest throws can be the hardest throws. Second and 9, ball on the 14. Colton drops back. Ball is thrown up, and it is incomplete. Nice job by the defender, as that was Forte, Carl. Trying to get it to Whitlock.
Bryce Whitlock, yeah, good throw. He was not able to come up with the ball.
Carl, we predicted that we thought this was going to be one of the quickest non-mercy rule games we have, and here we are. It is 7:39, and there's only 4:10 to go in the first half, Carl.
Yeah. It's been a quick and exciting game so far, Mikey.
Just because it is low scoring does not mean it's exciting. We've had 2 turnovers. We've had big defensive plays. Each team has had a big offensive play. We saw a really strong kickoff return. 3rd and 9, ball on the 14. 3-3 is the score. As Unionville has taken a timeout. We're going to take this timeout to hear from our friends at Chester County Transmissions.
Hi, this is Andy at Chester County Transmissions. We're a full-service automotive shop here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania that also specializes in transmission and driveline repair. Just so you know, for all your automotive needs, we're here to take care of you. State inspections, whatever you need. Our number here is 610-384-2879.
Good morning, Chester County Transmissions. Rich speaking. How can I help you?
Please stop in, give us a call. God bless.
We are back here at Unionville High School as the Unionville Indians and the Kennett Blue Demons are tied at 3-3. It's a big 3rd and 9 for the Indians. They are at the Kennett 14-yard line. Charlton drops back. Pass is complete to Whitlock as he's going to be pushed forward, and he's still going, but finally brought down. Great bit of tackling by the Blue Demons. It was Forte and I want to say Connor Young on the tackle. Seen some strong tackling tonight, Carl, by both teams. If one guy breaks a tackle, there's somebody else there to then bring him down.
What are they going to do here, Mikey? field goal?
Yep, Twombly's going to come in, attempt the kick. So 27-yard attempt. He converted earlier from 33. Kick is up, and it is good. Unionville takes the lead again. It is 6-3 Unionville here on the Chesmont Game of the Week on ChesmontFootball.com, where there's 3:22 to go here in the first half. And Carl, this is, as we said, one of the more exciting games to not have a touchdown.
It sure is, Mikey. Usually these games, would you call them boring? I would not call this game boring at all, as we've had a turnover on each side, and that turnover resulted in 3 points for Unionville as Kennett's quarterback, Sam Forte, throws an interception that Sean Kelly was able to grab and set up a field goal for Stefan Tromley, giving them a 6-3 lead. I want to have a little shout out on my own, Mikey, to my friend Jeannie, who's a former Unionville teacher, retired now, who's watching our games on ChesmontFootball.com.
Yeah, interesting dynamic. My wife's side of the family, they had some of her aunts and uncles. Some of them went to Unionville, some of them went to Kennett. It's also important to know, Carl, we were talking about Kennett's never beaten Unionville or Ruston. That's because their football program went away for several years, came back, I believe, in 2005.
I'm talking about going Unionville and Kennett. Jeannie's children went to Kennett while she taught at Unionville.
Ball is caught at the 8-yard line. That's Frazier on the return. Kennett's going to try to either tie the game or take their first lead of the game, starting with the ball on their own 25-yard line. I want to give a shout-out to Wegmans, a proud sponsor of Chesmont Football and ChesmontFootball.com. Again, shout-out to Wegmans Food Markets. And, hey, they're hiring, Carl. You can apply at wegmans.com/careers. First and 10. Kennett's last drive did not go the way they wanted as they turned it over. Cox probably going to get the ball out as he does there. That's one thing, Carl, when you have good tackling as a guy like Cox, it's a little bit harder for him to be able to get the big carries that he's used to.
Right, especially when you have 5 guys trying to tackle you.
Carl, against Ruston, Cox, 229 rushing on 30 carries. He had 4 runs at least 25 yards. Now, he has one of them tonight.
Right.
But will he be able to get another? That's going to be key to their success. We said in the keys of the game for Unionville, try to contain the running game. They've done a great job thus far.
Actually, they have, except for that one run, Mikey.
Which set up the Kennett field goal. Forte throws up, wide open receiver. Pass is complete. It was underthrown, but still complete to Luke Forte. Carl, if he hits him in stride, he's gone.
Yeah, I agree. It was way underthrown, but Luke did a good job of coming back for the football, Mikey, and making that grab for a big gain. They need to throw the ball some to keep the Unionville defense off guard a little bit.
First and 10, ball on the 42, 2:13 to go in the first half. Cox stiff arms one man, lowers his head. Carl, that's the second time tonight he's just taken on a defender and just knocked that defender down.
Very impressive, Mikey. Like you said, that was more like Mike Allstott there, the old Tampa Bay running fullback.
Always love the Chris Berman call. Mike, you're in good hands with Allstott. Everybody nowadays loves seeing in the NFL the big passing plays. I appreciate the runs because you have tough running plays. You have running plays with great speed or running plays with great moves on it.
Or great power like Cox has.
My favorite running back of all time, Walter Payton. He had the speed, but he also had the ability to stiff arm a defender down. As Kennett takes a timeout, and we're going to take this timeout to hear from Miller's Insurance.
Chester County's most trusted insurance agency. Whether it's for your automobile or your home, a life insurance policy, or coverage for your business. Since 1975, Miller's Insurance Agency has been protecting homes, property, people, and businesses throughout Chester County. Miller's guides you every step of the way, providing the best options, getting you the right policy that works best for you. Contact us today for a no-cost consultation. Miller's Insurance Agency. We're here today for your tomorrows. Visit online at miainc.com.
We are back at Unionville High School as the Unionville Indians lead the Kennett Blue Demons by a score of 6-3. It's the Chestmont Game of the Week on ChestmontFootball.com. And hey, speaking of the Chestmont Game of the Week, did you know that you too can advertise on 3ctvlive.com or ChestmontFootball.com by calling 610-269-5000 for sponsorship opportunities? Again, you can call 610-269-5000 for sponsorship opportunities. Carl, we said last week's Kennett versus Ruston game was played at Unionville. Well, next week's Chestmont Game of the Week is Avongrove taking on Ruston. That game is going to be at Westchester Henderson. We'll talk a little bit more about our upcoming schedule as we proceed through this game. Toss play goes to Cox. He's got some room to run, and he's still going up the sideline, Carl, inside the 20, inside the 10, and he's going to go. 54-yard touchdown run, Garrett Cox.
And an excellent playing call, Mikey, because what they needed to do is get him on the outside because he's got the speed. And once he got to the outside, he just can't be tackled because there's nobody strong enough with that kind of speed, Mikey, to stop him. So what a run by Garrett Cox. That's his second one over 25, and we're going to have a replay, Mikey.
After this extra point, of course, Carl,
Yes.
because got to be sound in the kicking game. Can they make this a 10-6 ball game?
All the points here are important, Mikey, including the extra points.
The extra point is up, and it is good. Barker is true, giving Kennett the 10-6 lead. And let's take a look at that brilliant touchdown run by Cox. Again, we said he's got great speed for being such a bruising back. And that is just what Kennett needed. But there's still time for Unionville to get a touchdown or at least kick a field goal to make it a one-point game. We've seen Charlton be able to complete some passes tonight, Carl. Now we've also seen some of those passes get called back. But he's looking a lot better throwing tonight than we saw when they played Henderson, Carl.
And then with that run, Mikey, that will put Garrett Cox over 100 yards for the evening already with the two big runs itself almost. As he's trying to catch Kyle Chickanowski of Westchester East here for the rushing title.
Yeah, Chickanowski just having fantastic games all season. And a good return for the Indians, still going up the sideline, making another man miss.
Never did tackle him.
What a return by Weston Grimm, Carl.
Weston Grimm, he had to break that one tackle, Mikey, and he did, and there was nobody there after that to stop him as he went down the sideline and gave Unionville great field position. Now, there are flags on the field, and this is coming back.
Carl, that's a couple of times tonight where Unionville has had a big play be negated by a penalty.
Real big penalties, Mikey. Sometimes penalties don't mean that much, but the ones they've had tonight really hurt them.
Carl, Ricky Ortega has officially become the all-time leading passer in Chestmont history, passing Pat Devlin. Saw last week that he had passed it, but that was an incorrect stat. He just did it about a minute ago. And in that game, Carl, Henderson does not even have a first down.
Yeah, what a great career by Ricky Ortega. We've watched him here at Chestmont these last 4 years, and it's been a pleasure to watch him play football.
He's going to be playing at Villanova. Back to our game as that pass is completed. It's another big play for the Indians. Pass is complete to Stephon Twombly, the kicker, Carl, as there's another flag on the play.
This could be a personal foul, Mikey, with where the penalty has been thrown. This one's going to be against Kennett, Mikey. And it is a personal foul.
And Carl, they're going to be right back where they were after that big return almost.
Yes.
Carl, we talk about teams improving each week, and when we looked at last week's game for Sun Valley, we said they need to, take whatever they can from that game to improve each week. They trail this week, but it's only 8-6 to Great Valley.
So maybe a team that they can compete against, but still, it's a better effort by them.
Avon leads their matchup 14-6. Block field goal for a touchdown in that game. Charlton rolls out. Passes thrown short. Now, Carl, that time on the run, it was tough for him to get an accurate throw. He had a man, but he was really being pressured.
Right. It was an excellent try by Charlton, but he was under pressure and threw it just a little bit short on the run. And we're going to have a 2nd and 10. As Trombley comes back in the game. Unionville has shown a nice passing attack tonight. A little bit of a surprise, but that could help them later on. Very important game for them. They really need to win this game. Kennett is a real tough opponent.
Another important game in the area, Carl. Downtown West, 4th in the area, leading number 8 in Southeast PA, Pregame Valley, 7-3. It's a timeout for Unionville. And we want to take this time to remind you, you can follow us on Twitter at ChessMonFB. You can like us on Facebook at 3CTV Live and follow us on Instagram at 3CTV Live. Ruston leading Oxford 13-6. That Avon Grove game is against Bishop Shanahan, and when we talked about Ruston earlier, again, that was against Oxford, as we just said. Tomorrow is a huge matchup between the American and National divisions of Chessmont. Westchester East taking on Downingtown East. But we have a big matchup here itself. It's the Route 82 rivalry. It's Unionville trailing Kennett by a score of 10-6. 53 seconds to go in the first half. Flag on the play. Again, usually that's a procedure penalty on the offense, and that's what it is, Carl.
And penalties coming back to hurt Unionville again. And bring up a 2nd and 15, Michael.
But even if they have the opportunity to perhaps get a field goal before the end of the half, they have to consider themselves not too disappointed because they didn't really have a lot of time when this drive started, but now they've backed themselves up. Can Charlton keep the passing game going when Kennett knows that's what they're looking to do? As Unionville has no more timeouts. As the officials trying to get the clock to be changed. And that's what it was. There was a slight difference in the clock from what the officials wanted. Nice job by the scoreboard staff here getting the referee signal. Charlton drops back as he is taken down. Great open field tackle by Luke Forte, Carl. He had a big reception on the last drive by Kennett there. He makes a nice tackle as Charlton tried to run there.
Kennett has about 5 or 6 guys who are just terrific athletes that play on both sides of the ball, Mikey, and very impressive.
I want to talk a little bit more as we progress in this game, maybe at halftime when we come back from our halftime break, about the defensive coordinator of Kennett. Charlton drops back, pressured again. This time he's able to make a man miss. He's inside the 30, still going. finally falls down just shy of the 20, but it's high school football, so the clock stops for the chains to move. It gives Unionville a chance to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike the ball, but the clock is running now, and they're still not ready. 5 seconds, 4, 3, finally spiked with 2.4 seconds to go.
And they'll kick a field goal here, I would imagine.
Carl, they were lined up, but for some reason they just didn't snap it. I guess maybe they wanted to make sure everybody was set, everybody was in position, which is the right call because they really just have time to attempt a kick. So Twombly,
who's been one of their stars tonight, catching the ball and kicking.
He's going to attempt a
be pretty impressive if he makes this one, Mikey.
Looks like a 36, 37-yard field goal. And Kennett's going to ice the kicker. Give him a second or two to think about it.
I'll tell you, a real exciting first half here, Mikey. Lots of different things going on, turnovers, penalties, but some real good execution by both teams.
Some big hits, some strong runs.
Yeah, we see some real big hits tonight. And that, by the way, let's mention Blake Charlton's great run on that play, Mikey, as he broke several tackles to put them in field goal range.
Generally, when we've been here, Carl, we've seen Unionville be victorious, but this is, I think, one of the best games we've seen them play here. And they've had games where they won by more. This is only, I believe, the second time I remember covering Kennett myself. And this has been a very impressive team as well. They have not disappointed offensively or defensively. Tell you what, Carl, Westchester East and Henderson switched to the American division to kind of even up the playing field from playing in the national division, but they've joined quite a strong side of the conference as well. And Twombly in to attempt the 37-yard kick. Kick is up. It is no good, Carl. It is about a yard short, and that's going to do it for the first half. It is the visiting Kennett Blue Demons 10, the home Unionville Indians 6. We'll be back with second half action in just a little bit. Stay tuned on ChestmontFootball.com.
Yeah, I'm trying to go, I'm trying to go, as fast as I could.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field, Unionville High School marching band. The church intelligently applied allows us to make visible the supernatural and my share of the impossible. Film was silent until sound. Film was black and white until color. The impossible was unthinkable until special effects. Witness the rise of the art of film in Unionville High School above the curtain. The Palmer Gateway drum majors, Anthony Again and Janet Ahart. Band president, Nathan Gansey. Leadership also includes wing captains Julia Weber and Natalie McKay. Guard captain Brooke Baumeister and Ashley Reba. Percussion captain Cornelia. Music for the 2019 performance includes Martin Tuppy, Circus Soleil, George Gershwin, Sarah St. Greatest National Music Show by Matt Platt, Sean Santana, and Mike Bishop. Drill design this year by Eddie Otto. Choreography, movement, Tanner Jones, Olivia Plank, and Julia Otto.
Welcome back, football fans. We are back here at Unionville High School as the Kennett Blue Demons lead the Unionville Indians by a score of 10-6. It's been quite an exciting first half for being such a low-scoring first half, Carl. We saw it all. We saw defense. We saw big plays, big hits, some costly penalties and turnovers, but it's been a very exciting matchup thus far as Pat Clark's Indians trail Lance Fraser's Blue Demons. But tell us how we got to the score we have right now, Carl.
Okay, Mikey, Unionville got us started with a 33-yard field goal by Stefan Twombly, giving them a 3-0 lead. And then Kennett came back on a long run by Garrett Cox that got him down deep in Unionville's territory, led to a field goal by Ryan Barker that tied it at 3 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, Unionville again took the lead on a 27-yard field goal by Stefan Twombly. And then we had the big run by Garrett Cox as he went off left tackle, went down the sideline. Nobody was able to stop him as he ran 54 yards for a touchdown. The extra point was good, giving them a 10-6 lead. We have a stat for you. Unionville had 164 yards of total offense in the first half, while Kennett had 143. So a pretty evenly matched game so far, Mikey, with some turnovers and penalties out and probably changing maybe the outcome of the first half as far as score.
And again, Unionville almost kicking out a field goal at the end of the first half, went about a yard or two short. Some other scores in Chestmont for you, Carl, is Downingtown West leading Perkiomen Valley 13-3. Great Valley leads Sun Valley 8-6. Ruston leading Oxford 20-13. Coatesville leading Henderson 48-7. And Bishop Shanahan tied with Avon Grove 14-14. And again, tomorrow night's the big Westchester East Downingtown East matchup. Carl, we talked in the first half about how strong the Kennett D is. I said I wanted to talk for a moment about their defensive corner coach. Scott Gee is a defensive mastermind. And Coach Fraser said, we have a great mind at defensive coordinator. We stay gap sound, gap control, and fly to the ball. Our guys compete. That's it. And again, we're talking about how Forte and Cox are great competitors on both sides of the ball. We've seen them both make big hits, but looking on the other side of the field, you have Unionville, and then you have Kelly, a very talented running back, making that big interception on that overthrown ball. Some players might just see, oh, hey, it's overthrown, it's going to be an incomplete pass. No, Kelly dove and made that catch.
Absolutely. And I thought we saw a really good first half by Blake Charlton, and I'm looking for him. I think how he goes in the second half will determine if Unionville can win this game, because I thought Charlton had a very good first half, but they only managed 6 points on the board. So points are what counts in any football game. So
and look for Schilling maybe to try and bust a big run. He had that reception.
Yeah. So the big play is the only thing missing from Unionville's game, where Kennett did come up with the big play by Cox, and that's the difference in the game.
Well, let's say a big play for Unionville not called back by a penalty, as they did have two big plays that got called back. One of them a kickoff return. Well, Unionville is going to get the ball to start the second half. Again, it's the Chestmont Game of the Week on ChestmontFootball.com. And if you missed any of the exciting first half action, these games are archived, folks. You can watch any of our games anytime at ChestmontFootball.com. And we are underway here in the second half as the ball picked up at the 10-yard line. And the Indians are going to start with the ball on their own 30. That was
Weston Grimm. Good run back again by Weston. He's done an excellent job, Mikey, on the kickoffs tonight.
Saw him get a few more carries in the game against Henderson than we have thus far tonight. But again, they have a three-headed monster. Reminds me of the when the Eagles had Buckholter, Staley, and Westbrook.
Right. I think Unionville came in with a good game plan. They knew they couldn't just run the ball, and they've tried to mix it up. And
penalties in the red zone have been what cost them.
Absolutely.
Oh, as they have a man coming on the field late.
Wow, that's interesting. I guess they were one man short there, Mikey.
This is one of the stadiums that does not have a play clock, Carl. There's a handoff going up the middle. That is Schilling.
Good job by Schilling as he, used his blockers and let them do the work, and he tried to pick the hole.
He'll be just shy of the 34-yard line.
Let's give him the 34, Mikey, and 2nd and 6. Schilling showing you his experience here, Mikey, as he waited for his line to block to find out what hole to go to.
Yeah, we're saying they need the big play, but I mean, again, solid runs, smart runs is going to be what keeps them in this game, gives them the chance to get the lead back. Charlton, pass is complete, just short of the sticks. Pass is complete to
Bryce Whitlock.
Yeah, Whitlock, he stopped that route, Carl, at the 39. He needed to get to the 40. Now, I wonder if that's a situation where that's what the play design is, because usually you tell your receiver to get to the sticks.
Right, but usually on 3rd down, it's important to get to the sticks. So,
exactly.
Yeah. But, again, a nice mix-up of their plays, Mikey. Run, pass, they don't.
One of our keys of the game, mix up the playbook. Don't just run it. Don't just run the same old plays you've been running.
And we kind of call that for every week, for every team, but some teams don't have that capacity or ability to do that.
And we've not seen a trick play yet in this game, Carl. Quarterback sneak, something that I think every team should do on a short yardage, and that's a big gain for Charlton.
Again, Blake showing his running ability tonight, and he's been their leading rusher.
Had one of the Unionville players a little slow to get up, but he is walking up to the new line of scrimmage. But my thought is, if you have a good offensive line, they should be able to get you the push you need for 1 yard. If you have a quarterback you trust with the ball, which again we have seen a fumble tonight, you trust him to take that ball and get the tough yard, and then a big play like that can happen. 1st and 10, ball on the Blue Demon 49. Charlton takes it himself. And he's got another 1st down run, and he's still going up the sideline. One man to beat, and he's going to go. 49-yard touchdown run, Blake Charlton. What a run by the quarterback, Carl.
Unbelievable run. What a great athletic play by Blake Charlton, who's having a great night, Mikey. And we're going to show you the replay after the extra point.
Back-to-back runs for Charlton, Carl, and that is senior leadership right there.
And I said how Blake goes in the second half is going to determine this. Well, he certainly got them off to a great start in the second half.
Extra point is up, and it is good. Unionville now leads 13-10. And let's take a look at that replay.
Showed real good speed on that play as he kind of felt his way around the end there, as there was no would-be tacklers on him, and he went to the outside and used his speed and athletic ability and went all the way 49 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, Carl, this is the reason why you're never out of the game when you have a good quarterback. Now, it's early on in the second half. We know they had plenty of time left, but to come out with such a big play on their first drive, and that's why converting 3rd downs is so important. They don't convert on that 3rd down. Do they maybe punt because it's such a tight game?
Unionville came out with a purpose, Mikey, in that first half. In that second, in the second half here, and they looked like they were ready to play football there and get that lead, and they sure did in a very quick fashion. 2 big runs by Charlton on that drive. I'm sure he's nearing 100 yards rushing himself.
13-10 is your score. Unionville has just taken the lead back. Can their defense get a stop, or can the Blue Demons get another scoring drive? Frazier on the return. Flag on the play. Carl, do believe that's going to be
personal foul against Unionville for a late hit.
I want to give another shout out to the crowd here, Carl.
Unbelievable.
The fences on both sides of the field just lined with fans. The bleachers line on both sides of the field. Again, they have extra bleachers back near where the snack bars are. Those are filled as well. What I love about high school football, Carl, is when it is good, when the fans are really into it, there's nothing like it.
Absolutely. We've been at Unionville many times, and this is probably the best crowd we've seen.
And again, usually the Unionville crowd is strong. It's the visiting section. There's not many people to. But again, this is a rivalry matchup. These schools are so close to each other. These are communities that are well versed with one another.
Maybe not quite the battle of the Brandywine, Mikey, but the battle of Route 82 is pretty darn good.
And this is a rivalry that's going to be building for years to come, I think. Forte throws it up. Pass is complete. That's a big first down for the Blue Demons. But Carl, they actually had another man wide open on that play in the middle of the field.
Well, they don't throw the ball that much, so it can really work, Mike, when they do. And, again, it was a pass that was underthrown, and it could have been a bigger gain. But they did get it out there and still come up with a real big gain.
And Carl, I want to, after this next play, take a look at that replay. We can see the completion, but also see the open receiver, because that was a great play call. It's a toss play.
And he's gang tackled.
And let's take a look at that replay, Carl.
Okay, let's see who that open receiver is.
There was Forte on the reception, but if we can maybe take one more look, guys in the truck, give us one more look at that if you would, please.
Oh, yes.
The receiver wouldn't turn, but yeah, they had him right in the middle of the field.
Well, that's where the quarterback, if he takes the time to view the field, but they're not a big passing team.
And again, it was a huge play.
Absolutely.
So it was a great job by the Blue Demons on that one. It's Cox on the run. Another big, solid run from him. Can they take him down from behind? No, he cannot be stopped. He's going to go 37-yard touchdown run for Garrett Cox. And the Blue Demons have answered.
Yeah, once that initial gang tackling's not there, Mikey, he is impossible to bring down. Combination of power and speed leads to a touchdown and gives Kennett the lead again. And we'll see the replay of that great run by Cox after this extra point.
Kick is up, and it is good. Barker is true again. Let's take a look at that brilliant run. Cox breaks a tackle, Carl, and then just shows his speed. He is a stocky runner, but he is a downhill runner.
Yeah, once he has any daylight at all, and he has to be gang tackled anyway to be brought down. They've had some success tackling him, but it's been 3 or 4 guys at one time. And when he can find just one guy, there's just no way to stop him. Runaway truck, Mikey.
Carl, what I think is another important thing to note is, although we did have a missed field goal, it was a long field goal, but every extra point has been good tonight. It's been a very well-played game. There's been some penalties on that drive. There was a penalty on the kickoff return, but been well executed all around. This is one of those games where I don't think anybody deserves to lose.
Right. Now, you got to give Kennett some credit on that drive. That to be able to throw the ball, Mikey, really sets up their running game.
Can the Indians answer? Schilling on the return.
They kind of ran into trouble there.
But he actually got an extra couple yards on that. Going to be taken down at the 30. SWI Service Wholesale Incorporated is your place to go for building materials and products. They supply quality materials for the building, construction, remodeling, and lumber industries. Their motto is service with integrity. Visit them at 4810 Horseshoe Pike in Downingtown or give them a call at 610-518-5187. That's SWI.
Let's see if Unionville can answer Kennett's charge here with a score of their own.
Will it be more of Charlton running? Will he hand it off, or would he give it to one of his talented receivers? It's going to be a toss play to Schilling.
They've done a good job with stopping Schilling tonight. They just haven't been able to stop the quarterback. as he's been their main rusher tonight. Thing is on a 2nd and 8 now, they have the ability to run or pass, and that gives them multi-options on what they can do.
Second and 8, ball on the 32, 7:40 to go here in the third quarter. Charlton drops back. He has a lot of time. Was that caught, Carl? It was. What a grab by Twombly. Carl, a kicker just made that grab.
Well, that's his second catch of the night, Mikey, and he's showing some good athletic ability on the outside. Very rarely do you see a kicker wide receiver, but he has the body and the speed to be able to do that.
Sometimes maybe you see the quarterback attempting kicks. Although we did see it last year with Dan Burns from Downingtown, Carl. He was very talented.
He was very talented.
But that was like a professional level catch. He was at the sideline, kept his feet in.
Even the route and the throw were professional because he threw it before the receiver turned around. So excellent play.
Burst and 10, ball on the 42. And up the middle goes to Sean Kelly.
Very impressed with Unionville's offense tonight, Mikey. Against a very good defensive team in Kennett.
I think this is the best game involving just Chessman American Division teams we've ever had.
Yeah,
We've
really
had some classics with, Downingtown East and Coatesville in the last play of a game. Did another game at Coatesville that had a 47-yard field goal, I believe, winning a game. Some big games at West. But for two American Division teams, this is easily the best game we've had.
We really don't know who's going to win this game, which makes it very exciting.
Charlton pressure up the middle. He's going to run. He's got a first down. He's still got room. He's going to be stopped inside the 25. But, Carl, there is a flag on the play.
And this is coming back, Mikey.
Yeah, it's going to be on Unionville. It is a hold.
Every time tonight that Charlton has been in trouble, he has been able to get loose to make big plays, Mikey. And that's the sign of a great quarterback and a great athlete. He's really growing into his own skin as a football player.
But we said, Carl, is Unionville going to be able to have the big plays not get called back? They had the touchdown run by Charlton that didn't, but their big return, a big run gets called back.
Yeah, their penalties have been a killer for them tonight.
It is 2nd and 17. Ball on the 35. Charlton drops back. Pass is incomplete. Carl, that time he really felt the pressure. The pressure was by Zach Good. Oh, and there's Carl, we said you need to keep your composure as it is Declan Boyle and Kalen Frazier getting into it.
Let's see what the referees are going to do on this as we're fighting, Mikey. Will they be ejected?
Yeah, I was looking back at where the incompletion was, then I just heard a ruckus in the crowd and then looked to see the end of that. That is the coach's son, Carl, for the Blue Demons, so he's definitely going to be hearing it from his coach. Now, is this going to be they get both sides, which I usually think is the fair thing to do? A lot of times they usually just get the person who reacted.
Right. I don't know who started it, but I think, they had to, whoever did had to defend himself.
As the refs discuss this, we want to let you know that you too can advertise on 3CTVLive.com anytime by calling 610-269-5000. That's right, you too can advertise on 3CTVLive.com and ChessmontFootball.com by calling 610-269-5000. So personal foul on Unionville, personal foul on Kennett. As we expected. And again, it is third down because it was a dead ball foul. So it doesn't look like anybody was ejected, just personal fouls. And honestly, Carl, that's what it should be. Because it was a nice job with the pressure by the Blue Demon defense to lead to an incompletion. And players from both teams were involved in that. So I don't really think that anybody should be losing or gaining any yards.
Right.
Third and 17, ball on the 35. Flag on the play.
It looked like it was Kennett that jumped, but let's see, he thought he was drawn off.
Unionville's backing up a little bit. But so is Kennett, so it's against Kennett. I don't think either team really knew who that was against, Carl, as I saw some of the India players moving backwards. Carl, we said it was well executed in the first half. As you said, getting a little chippy, getting a little sloppy. This is what we talked about. Carl, our keys to the game are coming true. We said keep your emotions in check.
Yeah, we talked about, I talked about turnovers, certainly a key factor in this game, along with penalties.
As we see them there, mix up the play calling. Unionville's done that. Try to contain the Kennett running game. They've kind of done that. Rivalry game, keep your emotions in check.
And we've seen a fight, so the emotions are still there.
Now that fight didn't lead to any team losing yardage, but the aggression on the offsides. Pass is incomplete. They are really pressuring Charlton now, Carl.
One of the few punts of the game coming up here, Mikey.
Yeah, we did have a quick punt earlier by Kennett.
So that's a big stop by Kennett, Mikey, and let's see if Unionville could stop them, because that'll be important, because if they go up more than one score, it's going to make it difficult.
There's the first punt of the game for the Indians. They're pressured, and it is blocked, Carl.
Takes a bounce. Good bounce for them, fortunately.
Yeah, it is down on the Blue Demon 48, it looks like. So the Blue Demons are going to take over the great field position after this word from Washington Hose Company #1.
The Washington Hose Company is located at 376 East Lincoln Highway, serving the city of Coatesville and the surrounding communities for almost 150 years. Our dedicated EMS staff of volunteer and career are proud to provide EMS services 24/7, 365 days a year. WHC offers first aid, CPR AD, babysitting, and several other training for first aid and certification classes. To take a class or volunteer, please contact us at 610-384-6464. Be safe.
Back live at Unionville High School as the Kennett High School Blue Demons are currently leading the Unionville Indians by a score of 17-13, as it's Cox with another bruising run, Carl.
Yeah, anytime he goes off tackle, Mikey, they can't get that, that gang tackling going, and he's going to get big yards. And that was another big run for him.
Carl, as you said, if they add another score to this lead, especially if it's a touchdown. If it's just a field goal, it's a 7-point game. If they add another touchdown, the way he can eat up clock.
Correct. He's tough to stop. He can create a lot of first downs for you.
2nd and 3, ball on the 46. 5:50 to go here in the third quarter. That time they're going to hold him up. It's going to still be a third and manageable, but that was a nice job by the Indian defense.
Right. Once he goes straight up the middle and not off tackle or to the side, he's stoppable. But they did stop him on that play and created a 3rd and 2. And no reason not to give him the ball here. And they do a sneak. Oh,
and
look
it's going
at
to be
that.
a first down.
They don't think they're expecting Cox to get the ball, and the quarterback just easily gets the first down. And they're in the Unionville territory, Mikey, at the 40-yard line now, and they're driving. Let's see if they can mix in a pass play here, Mikey.
Yeah, can they find Forte or Good again? That is a great job again. Oh, that's going to be a flag, Carl. They went too far, and that is Declan Boyle, Carl. That is the second time he's had a personal foul tonight. He did a nice job stopping him, but the play was dead, and he threw him down for no reason. Actually saw that on Monday Night Football where Hopkins actually threw down a defender Unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely unnecessary roughness there as he had him down and flourished it by flipping him to the ground like that. And that is going to be a big 15-yard penalty. Again, penalties killing Unionville tonight. It's one of your keys to the game, Mikey, was keep your emotions in check, and I think it's getting away from Unionville a little bit. Especially Mr. Declan Boyle.
Getting a little bit chippy. Downtown West leading Park Valley 20-10 right now. Great Valley, Sun Valley still 8-6. Another solid run by Cox. Ruston leading Oxford 26-13. Coatesville over Henderson 48-7. And Shanahan and Avagrove still tied.
You know, so Coach Artega's got his second and third stringers in there in the second half.
Carl, just like we don't know who's going to win the American division this year, we don't know who's going to win the national division. You have
That's correct.
Downtown West, Downtown East, and Coatesville all having strong seasons. And then in the American, Kennett, Unionville, Westchester East, Ruston, all with strong chances. Orte rolls out. Pass is complete, and it's dropped, Carl.
That pass play I was looking for, Mikey, because they're not expecting it.
Carl, that was Zach Good. I think he was thinking, oh, it's too easy. It's right in my hands. Let me just walk into the end zone, and it slips down out of his hands.
Right, that's why you're supposed to catch the ball with your hands, Mikey, and not your body, because it can go right through you. And
let's take a look at the replay of that one, Carl, as that was a well-placed ball.
You'll see as he does not catch it with his hands, he tries to bring it into his body, and it goes off his stomach.
Nice play action. Good throw by Forte. As it's right in his hands, Carl. He's going to wish he had that one back. He's had a strong game tonight, offensively and defensively.
It was a big play.
3rd and 6. Can they hold it to a field goal? Forte rolls out. He cuts back. This could be a big loss. Instead, he throws it up, and it is incomplete, almost intercepted.
Oh, that could have been such a big play for Unionville.
Connor Schilling almost picks it off.
It was catchable. I think Connor's a little short in height.
He had a man open, Carl, but it took a little bit to get there as it's almost intercepted. Carl, that was a nice job by Forte avoiding the pressure,
right.
but
it was exciting because you didn't know whether he was going to come down with the football for an interception, which would have been a real big play. But I guess, is it a little too far for a field goal here, Mikey?
It'd be a 38-yarder. I'm wondering, do they?
I think they're trying to decide. They're going to call timeout.
They do call a timeout. We're going to take a timeout to hear from ChestnutFootball.com.
I can't find anything on TV.
Hey, remember the other day when I wouldn't let you go to the football game Friday night? Well, that same game you missed is archived at ChestnutFootball.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
We are back live at Unionville High School as we have a big 3rd down coming up. It is Kennett leading Unionville 17-13, but they have a 4th and 6, on the 21-yard line there. We're not sure if they're going to go for this 4th down or not. Update to the Shanahan-Avagrove score. Shanahan now leads by a touchdown in that matchup in the second half. Carl, I was talking with Coach Fraser before the game. He said they have a very strong kicker. The question is, do you go for it and risk maybe giving Unionville not amazing field position, but decent? Or do you go for it, and if you convert, you can burn more time off this clock? And they look like they're going to go for it. The kicker not on the field. Forte in the shotgun formation.
Obviously a very big play in this game.
Don't be surprised if Cox gets this. Instead, it's Forte rolling out. Pass is thrown up, and it is... He bobbled a car. Do they call it a catch?
They're going to
They
decide.
do. That is Kalen Frazier. Carl, he had that personal foul that he got called for a little bit ago, but coming up big there with that catch is I do believe the correct call was made. I think his hands were under it on that completion. It's going to be a first down for the Blue Demons. Let's take a look at that catch. When he hits the ground, the ball moves a little, but you couldn't tell if it hit the ground. So I think this is an instance, even if they had a replay, they couldn't overturn it. Cox with the carry, tries to cut it back, and that is gang tackling right there, Carl. And there, when you throw the player down at the end of the play, that is not unnecessary. That was just a good, solid tackle.
Absolutely, Mikey. Is great gang tackling as he went into a swarm of Unionville defenders, and it's a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, usually we'll try and say 1 or 2 of the tacklers, but there was about 5 Unionville players there on that tackle.
All right, we can't name the whole team there.
Second and 12, ball on the 14. Cox with the carry. They do a good job slowing him down again, Carl.
Good job. Going to set up 3rd down. They're in definitely in more better field goal position, but I'm sure they would like a touchdown here, Mikey, to give them a 2-score lead.
As Frazier coming back in the game, who we saw had the big conversion on that 4th down, showing that there's a possibility of a passing play coming up.
Still a lot of game left to play here, Mikey.
Forte seems to be at his best when he's been on the run in this game, Carl. As he does roll out, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield. There's a flag on the play, Carl.
Are they going to call another personal foul there, Mikey?
I believe that was Twombly on the tackle. Or is that going to be a hold, Carl? As we await the official's decision, is that going to be a hold or is that going to be something on the tackle? Personal foul. Oh, they called a horse collar, Carl.
Okay. Didn't see that, but.
Saw the shirt move a little bit, but didn't know what the call was. The refs are the closest ones to make that play call, or that flag, but.
This game is turning into Unionville killing themselves with penalties. Personal fouls and alike.
And Carl, it is still 3rd down despite the penalty.
That's a break there.
Cox on the run. And it's going to bring up 4th down, Carl. Now Coach Frazier has a decision. This is a very makeable field goal, but you get the touchdown here.
You're bringing in the field goal unit.
Makes it a 7-point game, I understand, but you also have a big bruising back who has a 4th and 2 from the 5. Barker in to attempt the field goal. Kick is up, and it is good. Kennett adds to their lead. It's now 20-13. Blue Demons leading the Indians. We'll be back after this word from Chester County Transmissions.
Hi, this is Andy at Chester County Transmissions. We're a full-service automotive shop here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania that also specializes in transmission and driveline repair. Just so you know, for all your automotive needs, we're here to take care of you. State inspections, whatever you need. Our number here is 610-384-2879.
Good morning, Chester County Transmissions. Rich speaking. How can I help you?
Please stop in, give us a call. God bless.
We are back at Unionville High School as the Kennett Blue Demons have just added to their lead after a Ryan Barker field goal. And Carl, it was a good end of the drive for the Indians as they really were hurting themselves with penalties, but although they gave up points, they're still within a touchdown.
Right, and this game is not over. It's far from over. And with Blake Charlton at the command here, anything can happen. And I believe do not look for the score to end this way.
Yeah, that's going to be an automatic for you, Ryan. Automatic C-gap blitz for you.
Schilling on the return. Trying to follow his blockers, and he's got space. He's got a hole, Carl. He's in the Blue Demon territory. He's still going. Finally pushed out of bounds at the, it's right around the 35-yard line, Carl. Oh, no, they're still marking him up further. I thought he was out even before that. Fancy footwork there on the sideline. What a return, and no flags, Carl.
No, it was a great kick return by Connor Schilling there. As you'll be able to see, he feels his way.
Well, let's take a look at this replay, Carl.
He feels his way through the contact and creates room for himself down the sideline. There you go. You can see him just weaving his way and finds a hole, and then uses great athletic ability. And he got the ball all the way down to the 28-yard line, Mikey.
Schilling not tired from his return.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And it is going to be Kennett with the 20-13 lead over Unionville at Unionville Drive. And we'll be back with fourth quarter action on ChestmontFootball.com. Want to give a shout out to Wegmans, a proud supporter of Chestmont Football and ChestmontFootball.com. That's right, Wegmans Food Markets, a proud supporter of Chestmont Football and ChestmontFootball.com. And let's also hear from our friends at Miller's Insurance.
Chester County's most trusted insurance agency. Whether it's for your automobile or your home, a life insurance policy, or coverage for your business. Since 1975, Miller's Insurance Agency has been protecting homes, property, people, and businesses throughout Chester County. Miller's guides you every step of the way, providing the best options, getting you the right policy that works best for you. Contact us today for a no-cost consultation. Miller's Insurance Agency. We're here today for your tomorrows. Visit online at miainc.com.
We are back live at Unionville High School as the Indians are driving. Carl, I understand you have an interesting stat for us about the Indians this evening.
Yeah, we talked about their penalties tonight, and they're up to 7 penalties for a whopping 66 yards.
And it would have been more, Carl, except for the last one they had. It was a half the distance to the goal penalty.
And don't forget, we had one where each team got a 15-yarder, so it offset.
Correct. 2nd and 8, ball on the 26. Charlton takes it himself, but he loses his footing, Carl. He was looking like he might get tackled anyway, but he falls down. Nice job in pursuit was Vincent Cresci.
First time tonight he's lost yardage on a play. It's a big loss of 5 yards.
As it is 3rd and 13 for the Indians. They trail by 7, Carl. I have to think that unless they lose yards again here, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, they definitely go for it, but I guess the best thing here is to try to get as much back as you can here on this play, Mike.
Maybe roll out Charles to try to find Whitlock or Schilling. It is complete to Schilling,
Nice
but it's a great tackle by the Blue Demons.
And it's Garrett Cox, Mikey, the star of the game.
Researching this game, I read as many positive things about Cox as a runner as I did as a defender. And same thing for Forte. Actually, I think for Forte, I read even more positive as him as a defender, which is impressive considering his passing numbers over the past 2 seasons.
It'll be real interesting to see when Garrett goes to college what position he will play. He won't play both. He'll either play offense or defense. It'll be interesting to see.
Could almost see him as a fullback that gets the ball out on carries. Maybe go to a triple option type school. Charlton rolls out.
Great speed.
He's going to be taken down from behind.
Great play.
And that is Zach Good, Carl.
Good. Great offense. See,
flag on the play. You have Carl. I believe Frazier may have just gotten called for another personal foul. It was him and Boyle getting into it again. Wow. Although Boyle with his hands up, is he the one who got called for it? Those two players have had a lot to say all night, Carl.
Unbelievable.
Now, I believe it was a penalty after the play, so I think it would be still the turnover of downs, but they would back up Kennett, I believe. If it is on Kennett.
Gotcha.
It might be offsetting again.
Yeah, let's see what the call is here, Mikey.
On that play, though, Carl, it was a fantastic job by the Blue Demon defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct. It is still Kennett ball, but they're going to get backed up 15. Let's take a look at the replay of that last offensive play by the Indians, Carl. Charlton takes it. He rolls out. He's getting pressured by Good from behind right away. Nobody is open.
Watch the speed of Good there.
I think he was trying to find a receiver, but fantastic coverage. When your head coach is a former NFL cornerback, you're going to be well coached up at that position. But tell you what, Carl, though, that is now 2 personal fouls on Frazier's son.
Offset, but which
that last one was not, though.
Right, that's right. They lost 15 yards. That's right. And so it hurt their field position. Definitely, they would have had it at the 30 instead of the 15. So let's see if Unionville can pin him back.
Cox on the carry. And guys down the truck, if we can bring up those stats, that box score you just had just a moment ago, I want to take a look at the first down stat that you just had up. As it is, Unionville has 14 first downs to Kennett's 9. However, Kennett's had more of the big plays, so they've had less first downs. So it's a positive for Unionville, showing that they can move the ball. But where it's really counting is the scoreboard for Kennett, as they look to add to their lead. Now if they can add a field goal, it makes it a 2-possession game. And again, the Blue Demons looking for their first ever win over the Indians. But Coach Pat Clark, his defenses always know how to buckle down and get a stop. Can they do that here?
And they're certainly going to try.
Cox on the run, cuts it back.
Good tackling.
There was about 4 Indian players there, Carl, including Declan Boyle, Carl.
Yes.
He is fired up for this game tonight.
No question. Well, you could tell that these teams are really fired up, and there's definitely a rivalry brewing here. This is a very big play here, Mikey. They will not be able to go for it on 4th down pretty much unless it's by inches, and even then they couldn't go for it. So they have to get the first down, or Unionville's going to get good field position.
And folks, just a reminder, we will have a post-game interview. We just have no idea with which coach that's going to be with, so stay tuned after the game. Forte drops back, he throws up, he's got a wide open man, pass is complete to Zach Good. He's going to go for the score. 79-yard touchdown reception, Carl. He didn't drop that one. Perfect pitch and catch for the Blue Demons. There's still plenty of time left, Carl, but that might be what seals the deal for Kennett's first win over Unionville.
What a great call by Coach Frazier. Great throw. Zach wide open, just had to lay it out there. And Zach Good, who just made a great defensive play on the one end, makes a great offensive play on the other. And that's the nature, Mikey, of this Kennett team, where their defense and offensive players make impacts on both sides of the ball.
Extra point is up, and it is good. Kennett adds to their lead. They now lead by a score of 27-13. Carl, let's take a look at that perfect pass and catch by the Blue Demons. I mean, Carl, he's just wide open. Nobody within 10 yards of Good.
Yeah, they weren't expecting it. A blown coverage on the play. And Zach Good, we know, has great speed because he just ran down Charlton from behind, right? So he has great speed. And now you wonder why they didn't throw the ball more today. Well, I guess when you have a running back like Cox, you don't have to throw it that much. But they certainly made big plays in the passing game in the second half. As our first passing touchdown for the night.
Can Unionville answer? Can they get another big return? Avongrove now leads Bishop Shanahan 28-21 into the third quarter there. And it's going to be a touchback. So Unionville now trails by 2 touchdowns. Still plenty of time left in this game, Carl. Folks, just a reminder, you can follow us on Twitter at ChessmanFB. Like us on Facebook at 3CTV Live, or follow us on Instagram at 3CTV Live. First and 10. Looks like Weston Grimm on the carry, Carl. As we have an injured Unionville player down. We're going to take this opportunity here from ChessmontFootball.com.
Harry! Harry!
Hey there.
Hurry up, buddy. We're going to be late for the game.
No pops, we can watch it on ChessmontFootball.com at any time.
You do say.
Sure thing, Coach. We can stream it live on any smart device.
We are back live at Unionville High School as there's still a Unionville Indian player down. I want to talk about our games coming up on the rest of the season on ChessmontFootball.com's Chessmont Game of the Week. Coming up next week, it's Avongrove playing Ruston at Westchester Henderson. Again, it's a Ruston home game, but at Henderson. Last week, it was Kennett versus Ruston at Unionville. So Kennett looking for back-to-back wins on this field. Following week, it is Bishop Shanahan at Downingtown West, the undefeated Whippets, leading again tonight. Coming on up on October 4th, it's the Battle of the Brandywine. It's Downingtown West at Downingtown East. Those two teams are unbeaten, although we'll see if Downingtown East stays that way after their big matchup with Westchester East tomorrow. And then on October 11th, it's Bishop Shanahan at Coatesville. First time seeing the Red Raiders this season as they're leading the night over Henderson. And then the following 2 weeks, it is Coatesville taking on the Downingtowns. October 18th, it is Coatesville at Downingtown West. On October 25th, it's Coatesville at Downingtown East. So a lot of great games coming up the rest of the season. Carl, this, although now it is a 2-score game, has been our best game of the season thus far. And we hope to be getting back to a live action again soon against still a Unionville player down. So we want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Washington Hose Company number 1, SWI, or Service Wholesale Incorporated, Chester County Transmissions, Wegmans, Miller's Insurance. And again, we want to remind you that you too can advertise on 3CTVLive.com and ChessmontFootball.com by calling 610-269-5000 for sponsorship opportunities. That's right, you can call 610-269-5000 for sponsorship opportunities for 3CTVLive.com and ChessmontFootball.com events. And the injured Unionville player is walking off the field. And Carl, I always say it's really good if you can see the player walking off on their own power, even if they're limping. And that is what the injured player is doing right now. So that is a good thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely, Mikey. He appears not to be seriously injured.
He was down for a good bit there, but looking to get back into fourth quarter action here as it is Unionville with a 2nd and 9 on their own 21. They trail by 2 touchdowns now.
Must drive here, Mikey, for them as they're down 14, 2 touchdowns. They need a touchdown here. Everything is 4-down territory.
Did they try to get it to Whitlock or Boyle, or are they going to continue to run it with Charlton? As there's a flag on the play, I believe, Carl, that's going to be against Unionville. A legal procedure. That's another Unionville penalty, Carl. If they lose this game, I think they're going to have to look back on two things: the penalties and just the big plays. There's really only been 3 big plays they've given up, but they have been huge plays.
Absolutely, have been real big plays, and Kennett has come up with the big plays tonight and avoided lots of penalties, except for Kosh's son.
And Carl, the easy way to say for right now would be the player of the game would be Garrett Cox, but I'd also be willing to give it to Good because he had that sack and he had the, what a catch there by Twombly, Carl.
Gorgeous play.
The kicker is a pass catcher.
Right in front of us here, Mikey, as we saw that beautifully. Just a perfect pass and catch. Very exciting play. It looked like an NFL play.
Should have mentioned him when I was mentioning the receivers. Let's take a look at that replay, as it is going to be a hurry-up offense. But so we'll actually take a look after this play, as they know they need to get 2 scores. They're under 8 minutes to go. Charlton drops back. He's taking it himself. He's got room up the middle. He takes it to the outside, breaks 1 tackle, and he goes out of bounds. Another first down run for Blake Charlton. Let's take a look at that first down pass he had on the previous play. Great job by our cameraman there, Carl. As you can clearly see, he gets his feet inbounds. What a catch by Twombly.
Let's talk about Charlton on that play. He's done that all night, Mikey. Been able to avoid the rush and then make a big, big gain.
We said it. It doesn't look like either team deserves to lose. That one had to, did that slip out of his hand or get deflected? I think that was just a unfortunate throw.
It did not get deflected. That was just a poor throw, Mikey.
Sometimes it just slips out. And Carl, do they continue to keep looking to throw, or do they mix in a run? I really like the idea of just having Charlton run if he needs to, as he's looking to right there, but this time he's met by 2 Blue Demons.
They finally got him, Mikey. He's been able to escape almost every time. This time they got him.
Tommy Patrici, one of the defenders there.
Yeah, Tommy Patrici, and let's give credit to number 21. Yeah, Tommy Patrici, and number 4, Vincent Cressy. Very impressed with this Kennett Square team. Is trying to go 4-0.
Both teams have given up more than their average points that they have, but it's also been a well-played game defensively. That time, it is probably unable to come up with a catch. But that was a very well-defended play
by Kalen
Frazier. Carl, he is a sophomore, and you can kind of see his youth a little bit. He's had some penalties, but he also had some great athletic plays.
Well, like father, like son, right, Mikey?
Again, the head coach of Kennett, played in the NFL, played in the CFL.
It'll be interesting to following Kennett this year, Mikey, to see as they play some better teams how well they'll do.
Yeah, and they're going up against a strong Unionville team, but when they play Westchester East, when they play teams throughout the season, nice block there. Pass is complete. First down, Unionville. That is Whitlock on the reception. I don't know who it was that made that block, Carl, but there was pressure coming in the face of Charlton, and he got an extra second or 2 to make that throw.
Which is what he needed. And good throw and nice catch by Whitlock, and they're down at the 20-yard line, threatening here. Still time, only about 6 minutes to go.
1st and 10, ball on the 20. Do they mix in a run here, Carl? They do not.
Here comes the rush.
Charlton, he'd be good to just...
There he goes with that speed of his.
And it's actually a better game than I thought, Carl. I thought he was just going to try and, maybe run it out of bounds. But no, he knows he's a tough runner.
Yeah. That was the, he's only been stopped once on the run tonight. And they've tried to chase him down and really have not been able to. Terrific effort by Blake Charlton as he's trying to get his team back in the game. 2nd and 4. 5:33 left, Mikey.
They have Schilling out at receiver right now on this play, Carl. Did they try and get it in his hands, maybe on a quick pass?
Whitlock's one-on-one there. Oh, what's this? A delay.
Carl, I don't believe that Charlton was ready for that ball, but their receiver did run as soon as the ball was snapped, so a little bit of confusion.
Yeah, it was funny that they weren't all sides on that play.
Let's take a look at the replay of that, Carl, as it looked like some of the players thought that the snap count was on one play, some on the other. So let's take a look at that replay. Guys, yeah, most of the line was not moving, except for the center tossing the ball back.
For a
Costly
third down,
play.
Costly in time, too.
3rd and 5. Charlton throws it up. Incomplete. Good defense on that play, Carl, as it's going to bring up a massive 4th down for the Indians. Carl, we saw a fumble on a unique play with the center and quarterback, and then we see that play with the quarterback not ready for the ball, and then on that 3rd down pass, receiver had a chance.
That was Buzzy Hurts that made that great play, knocking the ball, a potential touchdown, away from Whitlock.
Well, Carl, I think you got to have Charlton try and roll out here and see if he can make a play with his feet, or if he finds an open receiver. As I actually saw a receiver, it looks like Twombly was lining up on the wrong side of the field.
This is the game right here, Mikey.
Charlton rolls out. He's going to try and take it himself. He's going to be stopped short of the 1st down, Carl.
Yes, he is. Great tackle there.
And Carl, making that tackle is Sam
the quarterback, Sam Forte, who just had that great touchdown pass. And that, the very unique team where a quarterback can make a great play, offense and defense. And we're going to talk to Coach Fraser later on tonight about his great players on offense and defense.
Number 7 stopping number 7. Huge play. And Carl, this is when it helps to have the ultimate power back that can just run this clock down. I just have to see Cox, and Cox. And it's Garrett Cox on the carry.
Right, don't try to use Cox and run the clock out.
And I'd be shocked to not see him get it on 2nd down, Carl.
Yeah, this has been a game of opportunities where Kennett has cashed in on theirs and Unionville has not. Unionville's been able to move the ball, but Kennett has made the big plays.
Carl, we saw against Henderson that they weren't able to capitalize as often as we thought that they should be able to. And tonight it was penalties, turnovers, and their turnover on downs. 2nd and 4, 3:50 to go here in the 4th quarter. Kennett leads 27-13. Cox has a ton of space.
It's close to a 1st down.
And looked like the Chang gang was, now they're starting to move. One of the guys was moving, the other guy did not. I think they were waiting to be told to go. It's going to be a 1st down for the Blue Demons as Kennett is 3.5 minutes away from going to 4-0 on the season, 2-0 in conference play.
Now, Unionville has to think about their timeouts too. Here, Mikey, start using them. They got 3 left.
Carl, if Kennett wins this, it'll be back-to-back weeks where they've defeated a team they've never beaten.
That is correct. Pretty amazing, huh? What a great job by Coach Fraser in his 2nd year.
Cox on the run. You have to think that yep, here we go. We was waiting for when they were going to do a timeout, as you correctly predicted, Carl. Now you need your defense to get stops on the next 2 plays.
That's correct.
Get a quick score, and then try for an onside kick.
That's about the formula, Mikey, that they'll need to use to get back in this game. First things first, they have to stop them on the next 2 downs. And we'll see what happens. Definitely our most exciting game this year on ChestmontFootball.com. We've enjoyed bringing this game to you. It's been a fun game to watch, fun game to announce.
Again, Coach Lance Frazier going to be interviewed post-game by Pete Foster. As we expect Cox to get the ball. And he does get it. And Carl, that's going to be a first down, and that's pretty much, barring any fumbles, that's pretty much going to clinch it for the Blue Demons.
Clock is running. It's only 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go as they'll try to run out the clock here and give them their 4th victory of the season. Great accomplishment for Kennett here as they start the season 4-0, where Unionville's going to go to 2-2.
Cox on the carry. Carl, really depends on the play. It really does seem like it's alternating between Jerome Bettis and Mike Alstott. It just depends on the type of run.
Yeah, because you wouldn't say that Alcott had the speed.
Yeah, Alstott definitely didn't have the speed.
But Bettis had more speed than Alstott did. He was more a running back. Even though you could call Bettis a fullback, he was a running back, a lead running back.
So there's a timeout for Unionville.
Bettis, of course, made the Hall of Fame, but he does definitely has that ability to bowl you over and also run with speed, and also is a great tackler. Forget that Pete Foster's going to be doing the post-game interview tonight
with
Coach Fraser.
And again, Kennett, first win over Ruston last week on this field. Now it's going to be, barring a miracle for Unionville, their first win against Unionville, also on this field. We saw it last year when it was a 10-7 victory for Unionville that it was close. But Kennett had 4 wins all of last season, Carl. They made the playoffs with just 4 wins, but 4 wins in 4 games this year if they pulled this one off. Cox, not as much room to run. He just needs to stay in bounds.
Right,
and he cuts back, and he's going to be tackled hard, but he did what he needed to do. He stayed in bounds and gained positive yardage, Carl.
Yes, he did.
As we have 2:09 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Score's obviously not going to indicate how close this game was, as it came down to big plays and unfortunately too many penalties for Unionville as they converted only 13 points out of a pretty good offensive effort.
Again, Kennett actually giving up over their scoring average. They've been giving up only 11, but I think they'll take giving up 13 tonight, Carl.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing against Unionville on their home field, winning this game is it's a monumental win for them.
Now, as competitive as this division is, Carl, even though they have 2 losses, Unionville is not out of this division race because Kennett still has Westchester East. They still have some tough games left, but they definitely have a leg up, them and Westchester East.
Too early in the season. Like you said, Kennett made it with 4 wins last year, so I really do see Unionville, if they can clean things up as a playoff team, Mikey.
Yeah, and Carl, Unionville started off really rough last year, I believe losing their first 3 games, so if they go to 2-2, they're definitely not out of it either.
Yeah, I think when you have Blake Charlton as your quarterback, you got a shot.
And that is going to be another run for Cox, but the Indians are going to be unable to stop the clock, Carl.
Right, man. Let's see if they're going to punt the ball here.
I will say this is probably the least I've seen a Coach Pat Clark team run the ball with the running back.
Yeah, that's true. But when they have, they were effective throwing the football tonight. And also the Charlton avoiding the rush and getting all those big yards on it, running the football.
I want to give a shout out to the band right now for playing the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song. That is a fantastic job by the Unionville band. Kennett calls a timeout with 1:21 to go in the fourth quarter. So it's going to be Kennett going to 4-0, 2-0 in Chestmont American Division play. Unionville is going to fall to 2-2 overall and 2-2 in Chestmont play. Again, coming up next week, it's going to be Avon at Ruston. It's an Avon Grove team that is in a battle with Shanahan tonight, and it is a Ruston team that, Carl, you saw take on Great Valley. I was not at that game, but it was Madonna having a huge game, which is just showing how talented this defense is for Kennett. When they played Ruston, Madonna had just 93 yards.
Yeah, so he had a big fumble on that game also.
A fumble recovered by Forte.
Very good, that's right. So that was a big play in the game.
We sometimes see schools in the high school level, they just have that one really talented player. This is a Kennett team with Forte, with Cox, with Good. As we see the quick punt, not much distance there, but it's going to bounce and take another second or two off the clock. Unionville is going to have the ball on their own 35 with 1:13 to go, down by 2 scores, Carl. This, if they come back and tie this, Carl, that would be the only thing to make this game even more exciting.
Now the question here is the strategy to try to score here or just to run the clock out. But Charlton is in the game. I believe.
Oh, they're still going to go for it. Coach Clark is a never say die type of coach.
Well, if that's the case, they're going to throw the football here.
Shotgun formation. Charlton makes a man miss, but Carl, he cannot afford to get tackled inbounds at this stage of the game. I know he has made some big running plays tonight, but
there's a guy on this team that knows how to tackle, and that's Garrett Cox, and he just tackled him.
And he knows how to break tackles when he's on offense, Carl.
Yeah, just a multi-dimensional player.
Pass is dropped this time. Probably unable to make the catch. He made a miraculous catch earlier, but
he was able to make that catch, Mikey. The problem was he wanted to run with it before he caught it. And that's what happens when you're rushing. You're trying to make a play. Let's give a shout out to Trombley tonight. Maybe besides Charlton, maybe their best player tonight, Mikey. Showing a lot of athletic ability, and he also made a tackle on the last series too, Mikey. So he's a pretty good athlete.
Charlton drops back. Pass is incomplete. Couple yards short of Schilling.
This could be the last play for them. It's 4th and 11. Only 40 seconds to go, Mikey.
And Carl, you can see several Kennett players. Are they gonna like try and rush the field, Carl? As there's a mass group of players coming over.
Are they players, Mikey? Or there's a lot.
No, it's fans.
It's the fans on the far left there, Mikey, that are all.
And that's going to do it for the Indian offense. Carl is expected to just see the Blue Demons take a knee.
Very excited group of fans here tonight. It's big turnout on the road. Of course, they're not far from home, but Kennett has really come out tonight with their fans and their football team to take care of Unionville.
As we expect to see Forte just take a knee. Coatesville defeating Henderson 55-17. Downingtown West defeating Perk Valley 33-17. Forte takes the knee. I don't believe they'll have to do another snap, Carl. Carl, not going to get any easier for Unionville as they got to take on Coatesville next week. And Carl, look at the elation on the sideline for the Blue Demons as Unionville is lining up for the handshake, but you can understand the Blue Demons getting fired up. But their student section, if our camera guys can get a shot on the far side of the field near the 30-yard line, just looking at the mass of fans in white over there for Kennett. It is a fired-up crowd as has gone final. It's all zeros on the clock. Kennett Square for the first time defeating Unionville 27-13. What a win for the Kennett Blue Demons, Carl.
Great win for them. Great win for their team, for their history. And this is a season that, there's a lot of expectation now that they could go very far. And we'll see how good they are once we meet up with the Downingtowns and the Westchester Easts and the teams that are also undefeated.
As you see the players running over towards the student section, and what a great atmosphere on that sideline right now. And we're going to go to the replay of Kennett's touchdowns, Carl. There's that great run by Cox, Carl. As he actually slowed down. I didn't notice before. He slowed down at the end of that run. And you have Cox again. What a night for him. But having an equally strong night was good. Zach Good with the touchdown reception there. And that was the play that sealed the deal. What a game for Kennett. Again, we're going to have Coach Pete Foster talking to Coach Fraser. We're getting ready to get that underway here. Again, what a victory for this team as they look to continue this season. As they're not just looking to make the playoffs, they're looking to win the division, Carl. As you see Coach Clark talking to his players, but Coach Fraser about set to be interviewed by Pete Foster as they get set up down there. And take it away, Pete.
Go ahead. Pete Foster here with the winning coach, Coach Fraser. Great win tonight, going in 4-0 for the season. What is your great takeaways, your key takeaways from the game tonight?
I'm happy, man. I'm proud of my guys. It's been a hell of a road. Got a lot of work to do still.
Yes.
But I'm proud of those guys, man. Respect to Coach Clark and his team. I just can't even describe, man. I've been on both sides of this thing. And as a former player, now as a coach, to be able to pour wisdom, motivation in the young people, man, and then they respond. They believe you. They believe that you believe in them. It's an unbelievable feeling, man. I'm so proud of our guys, man. I really am.
Garrett Cox tonight, he was great running the ball and on defense as well. What are some things that you're going to the weekend and the regular season telling him to keep his momentum? Or what are some key things that you can tell him to keep his momentum?
Well, for him, the momentum that you're seeing now is just based off of his offseason. The guy loves football. He's a football player. His family is an athletic sports family. And what you're seeing is just the fruits of his labor. I hate to sound cliche, but the kid, he lives it, he breathes it. He's what I call hyper-competitive. And he doesn't speak a whole lot. He's very soft-spoken, but he lets his play do the talking. And you just see that tonight, man. And you know what? It doesn't go said enough. our offensive line, man, are a bunch of guys who are undersized. They were throwaways. They were told they'll never be able to do what they're doing here. And those guys have been tremendous. Guys like Sam Davison, Huck Freeberry, Jack Colamarino, Zach Good, I'm drawing a blank here, Sean Carroll, okay, and Javier Bedola. And then we have a young guy that stepped in there, Matt O'Keefe. And, you know, those guys don't get enough credit. You always hear about Garrett and what Sam does and all of that, but, you know, that growth that they've had in the last year and a half is why we're doing what we're doing.
Yes, and you can see the growth with players playing outstanding football on both sides of the field. We have Zach Good, who made a tremendous 79-yard catch to really ice the game, and also Sam Forte, who made great plays in the defensive backfield and also on offense as well. Even though we had a great game tonight, what are some of the things that we can work on moving into the week against Sun Valley?
Well, I mean, we got to get back to the basics. You know, we had shoddy tackling sometimes on defense. We overplayed our gaps. Offensively, we got to get our passing game going again, and that's just getting Sam some confidence back. The guys up front are doing a great job protecting him. I think he just has to have a couple good completions, and I'm hoping that 70-yarder is going to get him back on track. Special teams, we were up and down tonight. You know, you can't leave out all three phases of the game.
Right.
We spend a lot of time on special teams, and we take good pride in it. But I think for us this week, we're going back to the fundamentals and trying to work on those things.
Yes. Coach Frazier, good luck for the rest of the season. Going into Sun Valley next week. This is Peter Foster, ChestmontFootball.com, 3C TV Live, and we'll take you there. Back to the booth with Mikey and Carl.
Thank you very much, Pete, and a very emotional Coach Frazier. Carl, this is a seminal win for this program. I mean, thought last week was going to be potentially was possibly the biggest win they've ever had. Well, now this is the biggest win they've ever had, beating their rivals, and this could springboard them a long ways for the rest of this season. Your final thoughts on the win tonight, Carl?
Yeah, I'm just excited for Coach Frazier and his team. It's this is a team that has a lot of momentum going. They're playing with a lot of confidence. And we'll see, you know, Sun Valley will be another victory next week, but down the road they'll have some tough competition, and we'll see how well they do against them.
Again, exciting game. Just a reminder, you can watch this and all our games anytime on ChestmontFootball.com. Be sure to tune in next week as it's Abingrove taking on Westchester Ruston at Henderson. And stay tuned for the rest of all our great games this season on ChestmontFootball.com. For the entire ChestmontFootball.com crew, for Carl Rundman, I am Mikey Dunn saying good night, everybody.